And we say good morning to you. We are live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City again on this Wednesday. It's Hump Day. Here we are, 520th show. I love it. I love it. 520th show. Couldn't even remember what it was. Good morning to you. We are again live here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. And again, let's start it as we always do by giving props to the Lord Jesus. We dedicate this show to him unquestionably. We do. And so we dedicate the show to him unashamedly as well. Here's the verse to get us started. Psalms 139, again, 13 and 14 says, I created your innermost being. I knit you together in your mother's womb. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Don't ever forget that. There we go. And so that's how we get it started, by dedicating our show to the man who hung on the cross again on this Wednesday, Hump Day. May the, 17th? Is that right? May 17th, 2017. Woo! It's going to be a good one. Here's who's going to be on the show today. It is right here. There it is. Greg Salyer with the Major League Baseball update. Dave Angie with the Johnson City Press. Karen Hubbs will join us from the Goose Chase coming up. We're scheduled to have Ken Harden, the Elizabethton softball coach, either today or tomorrow. Again, he may have had a scheduling snafu this morning, but either way, we'll have him on because we've got baseball coming up today. Yep, and that would be, hit the wrong button. Excuse me. Here's what I want to hit right there. You can go right now. Go to TomTaylorSports.com/contest to win tickets to Thunder Valley Nationals. These grandstand passes, which include a pit pass to go right along with it. It's an all-encompassing ticket, and so we're going to be giving away 10 pairs of those. Go to the website right there, TomTaylorSports.com/contest to get qualified to win. Absolutely free, no purchase necessary. We'll give those away on June the 12th. So that's what's coming up then. Hey, we're live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, and a frosted lemonade on a hot day like today go down real easy, and so you can't go wrong with that, or a milkshake, or for my money right here is the tea, Chick-Fil-A tea. Yes, I covered up the logo. Chick-Fil-A tea, love it, with a little piece of orange on the top of it. That'll set you free. That's good stuff right there. We've got baseball today. We've got a big one. We've got the Region 1 AA Championship. We'll have that today again, as the Elizabethton Cyclones will do battle with the Greenville Green Devils. It's loud in there, isn't it? It is noisy. So anyway, we got the Elizabethton Cyclones and the Greenville Green Devils coming up. 5:45 airtime, 6 o'clock first pitch. We'll be live at Joe O'Brien Stadium in Elizabethton. So we got baseball today. Winner stays home. The loser will travel. We'll tell you who they're going to be playing in the event. Well, they're going to play either way, either at home on Wednesday. No, let me start over. Home on Friday or traveling on Friday. So all that coming up again, as we said, on Friday. We'll start today, 5:45 airtime, 6 o'clock first pitch from Joe O'Brien Stadium. It'll be the Cyclones and the Greenville Green Devils in the Region 1 AA Baseball Championship. Also, the Lady Cyclones play in the Region 1 AA Softball Championship against the Lady Blue Devils in Unicoi County. Yet another rematch between those two great programs. So all that coming up again later today. And again, we'll have baseball for you, 5:45 airtime, 6 o'clock first pitch from Joe O'Brien Stadium in Elizabeth. We'll take a break, coming right back. We'll jump in and get after it. Our first segment of sports will be Major League Baseball. Nope, first segment of sports is going to be the NBA. My boys got hammered last night, and Popovich is not happy. We'll talk about the NBA playoffs, and also that's the Western Conference Finals. Eastern Conference Finals, the Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics Game 1. We'll talk about that too. Coming up next here, again live from Chick-fil-A, show number 520. Show brought to you by, again, the great folks from Grip Energy Drink. And we'll take a break. We'll be right back and talk NBA here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
The deals are heating up for Truck Month at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. Over 300 new Chevys to choose from, all with incredible savings. $11,000 off MSRP on 16 Silverado All-Star Crew Cabs. Check out the savings online at championjc.com. 16 Silverado Crew Cab, $33,685. 16 Track, $17,460. 16 Equinox, $21,615. 16 Traverse, $27,365. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us again. Show number 520. Let's take a look at the NBA last night. Steph Curry, 29 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists in 3 quarters. Golden State blows out without Kawhi Leonard, 136-100, a 36-point smackdown. Spurs go down. They got ran off the floor. Kevin Durant added 16 points. Draymond Green provided another all-around strong performance, 13 points, 9 boards, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocked shots. And so the Spurs, led by Jonathan Simmons, scored 17 of his 22 points in the first half. The lone bright spot for the shorthanded Spurs. Game 3 in the best of 7 Saturday in San Antonio. And so the Spur fans, and obviously Greg Popovich as well, hoping for the return of Kawhi Leonard. That's what they're hoping for, to get him back in and see if he can't get things turned. Thank you. See if he can't get things turned around again. So that'll be coming up. Game 3 on Saturday. That'll be happening again. The San Antonio Spurs and the Golden State Warriors. Game 3 of the best of 7. Now 2 games none, but it does shift to San Antonio, and hopefully better results for us Spur fans. But again, Popovich called them out in the press conference last night. Said they weren't ready to play. Popovich said they felt like, or they showed, obviously getting beat by 36. They didn't think they had a chance without Kawhi Leonard. So obviously a game changer, him not being there. But Popovich said, we're still pros, we still line up, we still play basketball, we still go after them, and we did not compete. We didn't go in with the anticipation we thought we could win the game. That's pretty strong for an NBA coach, but he's probably right. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight. Cleveland at Boston, the Celtics and the world champion Cavaliers with about a 10-day layoff. They last played Sunday a week ago against the Toronto Raptors, and so you're looking at a 10-day layoff. Let's see how rusty they are. Obviously, Game 1, Golden State was rusty because San Antonio had them on the ropes up by 20-plus points and couldn't finish it off. So we'll see if the Cavaliers come out a little lackluster tonight after being off, playing, 2 or 3 times a week for the betterment of 4, 5, 6 months, and then just stop cold turkey for about 10 days. So we'll see how much that impacts the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight in Boston. Celtics and the Cavaliers game 1 of the best of seven in the Eastern Conference Finals. On the ice, how about it last night? 10th straight home win for the Predators. They win 2-1 over the Anaheim Ducks again in Nashville to take a 2-1 lead of the best of 7. Their 10th straight home win of the postseason, going back to last season. So the Predators will play Game 4 tomorrow night in Nashville. Again with a 2-1 lead, trying to get to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time ever. On the other side of the ledger tonight, they skate in Ottawa, the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Ottawa Senators. That series tied at 1 apiece, and so they'll skate in Ottawa 2-2-1. First 2 in Pittsburgh, these next 2 in Ottawa, which will be tonight and Friday night, and then we go 1-1-1. So they'll skate in Ottawa tonight against the Senators, the Penguins, and Ottawa tied at a game apiece in the National Hockey League Eastern Conference Finals, trying to get to the Stanley Cup again and defend their crown from a year ago. PanteneBeautifulLinks.com. The hair, of course, getting ready to get it cut here in the not-too-distant future and then donate it to the American Cancer Society, where they're going to take it and help, among other people's hair, craft it into a beautiful, high-quality, real hair wig to ladies who lost their hair due to cancer through radiation or chemotherapy. So, beautiful Pantene, P-A-N-T-E-N-E, PanteneBeautifulLinks.com. And it's a really cool program, and we love being a part of it. And so, PanteneBeautifulLinks.com. Check it out. And so we're, again, growing the hair for that reason, and it's getting almost to the magic length to have it whacked off, so, and start over. We'll start over and do it all over again. Check out the screen here if you're watching, and we hope that you are. Had a good run, good run yesterday and Phil's Dream Pit. There you go. Go right now. You can win TomTaylorSports.com/contest. We're giving away tickets to Thunder Valley Nationals on Saturday, June 17th, Father's Day weekend. This is a grandstand pass that gets you obviously into the grandstands and also pit access too. So it's a double whammy. It is free, no purchase necessary. And so go there, as you see, TomTaylorSports.com/contest and get ready to win. We'll announce our winners on June the 13th on that Tuesday, and we'll see if we can't make you a winner. But you got to get qualified and registered. And we did this for the Spring Cup race tickets and also for the Xfinity Series tickets, and had a good response. So again, give it a whirl and see what happens. TomTaylorSports.com/contest. We want to say thanks to the folks again at Bristol Dragway for giving us tickets to give away here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show again on day number 520. So there you go. We'll take a break, come right back. We'll go into where do we go next? Probably high school baseball and softball and soccer. We'll talk about that coming up next, see who's playing where. We've got baseball tonight. We'll tell you all about that. We'll take a break. You're listening to show number 520 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 520. Man, I got a frog. Thanks for being with us. I apologize about that. When you're on live sports show and you got a frog, it ain't too good. But tell you what I picked up, though. Here's a brand new summertime item. Check this out. Watermelon mint lemonade. Brand spanking new at Chick-Fil-A. Did I get it? Is that right? There we go. Fresh squeezed lemonade mixed with, where is it? Natural watermelon and mint flavors. Available diet lemonade as a lower calorie option. Still haven't done it right. Available for a limited time. Watermelon mint lemonade. Got that going on right now. It's pretty good. In fact, it's really good. Maybe help me with the old frog. That's the goal. By the way, hello to Denise Lane and Jennifer Carr. Hello, ladies. Thank you for listening and watching the show today. Denise is a longtime scorekeeper for Dobbins Minute Basketball. I don't know how many years she was a scorekeeper, but when you went courtside at the Buck Van Ness Dome, you saw Denise Lane, or on the road too, for that matter. She kept the scorebook. I assume she still does. I haven't been over there for a while with Indian basketball with Chris Poore, now the new coach. But anyway, hello to Denise and also Jennifer Carr. She's got that young'un. We're going to be calling out his name today. That'll be the Elizabethton Cyclones and the Greenville Green Devils. 5:45 today, 6 o'clock first pitch from Joe O'Brien Stadium. It's going to be big. We'll get on my soapbox here. We're getting ready to run out all the teams that are playing baseball today. Every team should have a big crowd today. This is it. This is the regional championship. Every team that's still playing should have a big house. It's just that simple. So if you're going to be out and about on a beautiful day, weather's perfect, get out and watch some baseball or softball. We're about to tell you who's playing. But, again, we know we got the Cyclones. We're going to have them right here. We had over 1,000 views. Man, thank you. I can't thank you enough for that. See some of the folks. Shirley Wetzel down in Florida, J.P. Nixon, Colorado, Sonia Alexander, of course, Jennifer Carr, Betty Lacey. These are some of the folks. I don't know the list in front of me. Or do I? I don't think I do. Let's see. If I do, I'm going to call them out here. Maybe I do. Let's see here. I want to give props to the folks who are listening. Yep, here we go. Imagine that. Robert Davenport, Betty Lacey, Carol Hutchins, Barbara Perry Benfield, Josh Nash, Ted Pate, Mike Miller, Sonia Alexander, Shirley Wetzel, Misty Peters-Taylor, Justin Smith, Angela Shepard-Peters, and, can you read my writing, Jeanette Fox-Bradshaw. Those were some of the folks that were watching and listening to the game on Monday. So we'll have it again, 5:45 airtime. First pitch at 6 tonight, Elizabethton and Greenville from Joe O'Brien Stadium in Elizabethton, Tennessee. So brand new drink. That's the watermelon mint lemonade here at Chick-fil-A for the summertime. Also got a brand new sandwich. Got to check it out. We'll try it when I get off there. Smokehouse barbecue bacon sandwich. Chick-fil-A grilled chicken with brown sugar and pepper blend bacon. topped with Colby Jack cheese and smokehouse barbecue sauce, served on a toasted sweet yeast bun. It is for a limited time. There again, here's the picture. It is the smokehouse barbecue bacon sandwich at your local Chick-fil-A here at the Crossings in North Johnson City. And also the new drink for the summer, watermelon mint lemonade. Ooh, got it right here. Got a little kick to it. It's good stuff. I like it. So anyway, that's the two new things. Watermelon mint lemonade, the drink side. Also comes in diet lemonade, cools you down on a hot day because it's in the upper 80s today. I love it. No more winter storm warnings and no more snow and no more ice. It's hot. We like it. Hot weather's here. Woo. I like it. You like hot weather? Yes, she says yes. No more snow, no more ice, no winter storm warnings. We got hot weather, so this is a good time to come in and get a watermelon mint lemonade, a brand new drink here at Chick-fil-A. All right, AAA baseball. Dobbins Minute hosts Jeff County today. That'll be happening at J. Fred Johnson Stadium. Good luck to the Indians and Ryan Wagner. Again, on the other side of the ledger, the Farragut Admirals taking on Maryville. Again, those two, the Maryville Rebels and the Farragut Admirals. Jeff County and Dobbins Minute, those four teams playing today in the regional championship. The two winners will play. If Dobbins Minute wins today, they'll host in Kingsport on Friday. In AA baseball, as we told you, we've got the Elizabeth and Greenville game. 6 o'clock, 5:45 airtime. 6 o'clock first pitch from Elizabeth. Elizabeth and Greenville. On the other side of the bracket is Pigeon Forge and CAK. If Elizabethton wins, we'll be at home on Friday. If we lose, we'll head down to Pigeon Forge or CAK, and we'll travel. We'll go with them wherever they go, the Cyclones. In Single A baseball today, North Green is hosting Hampton. And then on the other side of the brackets, Knoxville Grace and Greenback. And so if North Green wins, everything shifts up to this end of the state this year. So if North Green wins today, they will be hosting on Friday. If North Green loses, or Hampton wins, rather, Hampton will be traveling. So North Green and Hampton at Region 1 Single A baseball. Then you get into the AAA softball today. Morristown East, the Lady Hurricanes hosting Cherokee. Gibbs, and I'm not sure you got on the other side of that bracket. Heritage and Powell play, but there's no score on that one. So all we can tell you is Cherokee and Morristown East are playing today in Morristown for Region 1 Girls Softball Championship. In AA softball, you have the Elizabethton Lady Cyclones hosting Unicoi County today. Again, 5:30 first pitch from Elizabethton. On the other side of the coin, Union County and CAK. So if Elizabethton wins, they'll be at home on Friday. If Unicoi County wins, they will have to travel because they're the lower seed. So Elizabeth and Unicoi County playing in softball today in Betsytown for the Lady Cyclones and the Lady Blue Devils. Obviously, they played each other before all season long, so they know each other very, very well. Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings at North Johnson City. In Region Single A girls softball, Unaka hosting North Green today. On the other side is Meigs County and Tellico Plains. So if Unaka and the Lady Rangers taking on North Green, and again the winner of that one would stay. Yeah, if Unaka wins, they'll be at home on Friday. If North Green wins, they're the lower seed, they would travel. In Region Class AAA soccer coming up, again the regional finals coming up tomorrow. The regional soccer was played yesterday, and let's give you those scores. We're going to have Coach Strickland on tomorrow. It was in AAA, Science Hill blanking Jefferson County 3-0. Dobbins Minute shuts out Sevier County 3-0. Also in Single A AA boys soccer regional semifinals, Unicoi County blanks Cumberland Gap 2-0. Greenville beats Sullivan South 3-0. So tomorrow, Single A AA finals will be Unicoi County and boys soccer at Greenville. Tomorrow, AAA Region 1 soccer finals, Dobbins Minute at Kermit Tipton Stadium taking on Science Hill here in Johnson City. So that is softball and baseball and softball for you here again on this Wednesday, May the 17th, 2017. Tom Taylor Sports Show. Quick break. We'll come right back. We'll check in with Karen Hubbs. Karen's going to be with us from the Goose Chase. See what's going on with her. She joins us coming up next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show again on show number 520. Brought to you by the good folks right there at Grip Energy Drink. We've got lemon lime, pink grapefruit, root beer, which I just drink root beer all the time. Also, you have pineapple and white grape. Soon to come out in a couple of weeks, the sugar-free orange and sugar-free pink grapefruit. It's all natural ingredients. Vitamin B, biotin, niacin. It is vegan-friendly. This is good stuff, and they sell them at Food City. We'll be at Food City on Volunteer Parkway on Friday for the Midnight Madness sale we're going to be talking about here in a few minutes. But, again, check it out. Grip Energy Drink. It is our title sponsor here of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. It is good on a hot day like today. It'll go down easy, give you a little extra energy. All natural ingredients: lemon lime, pink grapefruit, root beer, pineapple, white grape, and soon to have sugar-free orange and sugar-free pink grapefruit. Tom Taylor Sports Show coming up next. We'll check in with Karen Hubbs from the Goose Chase. You're listening to show number 520 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
The deals are heating up for Truck Month at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. Over 300 new Chevys to choose from, all with incredible savings. $11,000 off MSRP on 16 Silverado All-Star Crew Cabs. Check out the savings online at championjc.com. 16 Silverado Crew Cab, $33,685. 16 Track, $17,460. 16 Equinox, $21,615. 16 Traverse, $27,365. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we're live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Tomorrow will be at Champion Chevrolet. Friday we'll be at Food City and Volunteer Parkway for the Midnight Madness sale. Friday we got baseball. Woo, can't wait. We're going to follow them Cyclones. Hopefully we'll stay right at Joe Ryan Stadium. But we're going to be going somewhere with them. But today we got the region championship, and that's a big one no less. We got the coach on the phone, Ryan Presnell. Coach, beautiful day for baseball. And the fans get out here tonight. They're going to be treated to a heck of a ball game between two great programs, Elizabethton and Greenville.
Absolutely, it's kind of one of those things that goes it goes across sports. It's just a rivalry with nearly every sport we've got with us in Greenville, and inherently a lot of sports we meet in the region and quarterfinals of football, things like that. So, you know, these kids know each other. They play with each other, play against each other. A good, healthy rivalry, and promises to be a pretty good baseball game.
If I got it right, Greenville's 29-3. We are 20-10. So we're talking 49 wins on the field between the two teams, and Obviously, they got a great ball club. They beat a real good South team the other night to eliminate Solomon South. So what's the storyline on Greenville's baseball team?
Very, very good hitting ball club with good, solid pitching. That's been kind of the story as everybody's talking about how well they hit the baseball. So that's what we're going to have to do is we're going to try to counter that strength with good pitching and good defense. And you know how we like to manufacture runs and see what we can do, manufacture 5 or 6 and hold them to 3 or 4. And I think we'd come out with a win.
There you go. And, of course, both teams, interestingly enough, play in big ballparks. Of course, Greenville plays at Pioneer Park where the Greenville Astros play down in Greenville. And, of course, the Cyclones play where the Twins play. So, big ballpark for both ball clubs. I would think your outfielders are going to play a big role today because they're going to have to cover a lot of ground out there in the big field, which Elizabethton's guys do all the time anyway, right?
Sure, and they're used to it, and we love pinching those gaps. We work on communication a lot, an awful lot, especially towards the beginning of the season. So I can honestly say we haven't had one miscommunication on fly ball this whole year. And our outfielders make great plays. They know when to dive, when not to dive, those types of things. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of hard-hit baseball tonight between both clubs, and hopefully we can catch more than they do.
On the other side of the coin, Pigeon Forge and CAK will play one of those teams Friday. And so, again, I was talking before I called you how important it is, I think, for these kids to have a big crowd in there tonight. They've earned it. They deserve it. And both Greenville and Elizabethton kids. But since it's a home game, we should have a bigger crowd from Elizabethton. And the kids feed off the energy off the crowd, don't they?
Absolutely. And it's kind of respect towards the hard work these kids have put in. And, if you went to school here, your kids have went to school here, then a lot of pride goes to this community. So we want to show these kids that, we appreciate what they're doing. And it's been 5 long years since we've been this far. And, last time we went this far, we went all the way to state. So we're hoping to repeat that performance. I'd love for people to come out and see these guys play.
On the roster, you got 12 different kids that have pitched this year for Elizabethton baseball. So you can mix and match, and you have all season long. You've interchanged the arms and used them when needed, right?
Absolutely, and it's a pretty difficult decision-making process. But we've got a big whiteboard in the coach's office, and we've got 3 or 4 options for tonight and between tonight and Friday. And I think we've got a pretty good option pick. So, we've not got a pitch count in mind. We're just going to watch Mr. Adams and see how he does, and go from there.
Now, for the folks out there is a pitch count. So, what is the story on Hartley and Daly and the guys, and Corey, the guys that pitched on Monday? Can they come back and pitch today, or are they out?
Harley's out, and even if he was, under the rules able to pitch today, I still wouldn't. Those pitch count rules are pretty liberal. I'll be honest with you. If guys, I'd hate to. We don't use those pitch guidelines for anything more than making sure we've got plenty of days to rest. Because that max number of pitches is 120. I'd have a hard time going 120 unless it was a state championship game. So we've pretty much got every tool in the shed ready to go today. So, Hartley's really the only ones on the shelf.
Can't wait to get there. 5:45 airtime. We'll go on at 6 o'clock first pitch. Coach, we had over 1,000 views of the game on Friday or Monday, which is awesome. So can't thank the folks out there enough across Facebook land for following the Cyclones. And so we'll bring it to them this afternoon. Can't wait. I'll see you out there. Cyclone Pride.
Cyclone Pride, brother. See you this evening.
You got it. Good man right there. Again, Ryan Presnell, the head baseball coach of the Elizabethton Cyclones. 5:45 airtime, 6 o'clock first pitch. Can't wait. It's going to be good. Yeah, it's going to be Cyclone baseball. And again, as we said, the only other team that has both their softball and baseball still playing is North Green in Single A. And so what a testament to the Elizabethton sports program. Lady Cyclones are playing, and the baseball team is playing. So Lady Cyclone softball, I should say. So, again, what a testament to the program, again, happening in Elizabethton. 11:38, we're live here at the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, we archive our shows. You can go back and watch them, and folks do. We had, 12, 14, 1,500 views yesterday. And so we want to say thanks. The show continues to grow. We got a big announcement coming up in a couple of weeks, and maybe next week, about another step we've taken to this show, which we're looking forward to telling you about. We got to make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, but we're getting ready to expand the pond a little bit more again. So have more access to the show. I'll just leave it at that. So we're going to be very excited about that coming up here to make that announcement in the not-too-distant future. Quick break. We'll come right back, talk about the National Football League, also NASCAR. At the top of the hour, Greg Salyer joins us talking Major League Baseball. We'll save that for him. And then also coming up a little bit later in the show, Dave Angie. Dave's going to be by phone today from the Johnson City Press, and so we'll be looking forward to talking to him. We're going to take a break, come right back, and we're going to check in. Looks like Karen Hubbs came out of she had a meeting or something came up with, so she said, call me back. I want to talk about the Goose Chase, so we'll do as promised. Karen Hubbs coming up next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
There's a will, there's a way. We're back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. She is here on the phone, our buddy Karen Hubbs from the Goose Chase. Good afternoon, or actually still morning. Good morning, Sunshine. How you doing?
Good morning, Tom. I'm doing very well. How are you?
This lady here has no moss grows into her shoes, I'm telling you. She is on the move all the time, doing something today for her church, and we got a couple of events we want to push under the umbrella of the Goose Chase. Let's start with the event coming up on Saturday, June 3rd for kids. What's this all about?
Well, National Running Day is actually on June the 7th, but we have 2 events. And our first event is the Turkeys and Training Kids Clinic. And it's a kids clinic for elementary age kids up to 5th grade. And it's going to be at Kermit Tipton Stadium in Johnson City. And it's going to be a time where we have other running groups that's going to be there to help just show kids the, importance of nutrition, stretching, pacing, We're going to have some games, and it's 8:30 to 2:30 at Kermit Kitchen on that Saturday, June the 3rd. We know the Blue Plum's going on, but, parents, if you want to go to the Blue Plum, you could drop your kids off, and we'll entertain them and show them the importance of running and just the best techniques for them. This is going to be a soft start also for the turkey trot season. So come and you can see the turkey and get a picture with the turkey, and you get a neat shirt and lunch and all sorts of things.
This, again, coming up on, as you heard her say, Saturday, June the 3rd. Where's that going to be located at?
Kermit Tipton Stadium in Johnson City. That's the home of the Scienceville Hilltoppers.
There you go. Kermit Tipton Stadium on Saturday, June the 3rd. We're talking to Karen Hubbs from the Goose Chase. Also, then on Wednesday, June the 7th. Tell me what that event's all about.
Well, that's our big finale, our big celebration, and we're hoping to throw one big party. But it's going to be in downtown Johnson City. Yeehaw Brewing is our title sponsor for that event, and it's literally a mile race at the heart of Johnson City on Main Street. It's where the start and finish will be. Again, it's a mile run, and we're hoping to not only have runners, but have people out there just cheering them on. We would love to line the whole mile with just fans just being loud and just cheering on their friends and family. But it's a celebration of running, and it's a global initiative, actually. It's Global Running Day. Some call it the National Running Day. But it's on Wednesday, which is a little unique, and it's a night race because we had to wait for everybody to get home from work and different things. But it starts at 7 o'clock with the kids run, so they'll run just a block for the kids, and that's 10 and under. And then if you're 11 years old or older, you actually be an open mile run. And then the grand finale, and we're working with our buddies that we run events on this, we're going to have an elite race. And so we're actually going to give out some cash prizes to the top 3 male and top 3 female finishers. So if you think that you could run a sub 5 or sub 4 and you think you can win the prize, come on out. And that will be the final race, and we're hoping that everybody that's the other races will stick around and just cheer them on. And then afterwards, we'll give out the cash and the awards at Yeehaw Brewing. Our friends at Cake Buds is actually going to do a special cake for this day. And so we're really trying to make it one big party just to celebrate fitness and running. And if you're not a runner, you can still come out and walk it. And you can bring your strollers, your dogs. But it's just a time for us to be active in Johnson City and the Tri-Cities, actually.
All this again on the website. We're talking to Karen Hubbs from the Goose Chase. Tell us how we can find out about all this information and more on your website.
Well, the simplest way is going to thegoosechase.org. Look under events, and all of our events, these 3 that we've mentioned, or 2 that we've mentioned, and all our other events are listed there. And if you want to get involved, you'll see our email and our phone number on there. You can call us, and we can make arrangements for that to happen. But all of our events are there.
The biggest race in the Tri-Cities comes up Thanksgiving morning, the Turkey Trot. It's obviously not too early to start talking about that, which we are, obviously, because you just did.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
yeah.
From a runner standpoint, if someone who's just wanting to start out running, can they start now? Could they be in shape and ready to train to run the Turkey Trot by November? Does that give you enough time?
Well, that's plenty of time, actually, for that race.
Okay.
If people do come to National Running Day, we're going to have different running groups available that will talk about their programs, and so we'll have a list. So if you want to lose weight or get active or just better your health, we'll have information on all the running groups in the Johnson City market, and probably also all Tri-Cities. But literally, there's almost a running group almost every day of the week in downtown Johnson City if you just look hard enough. Tipton Street Brewery has a running group on Thursdays. JRH Brewing has another one, I think, on Wednesdays. The Johnson City Run Club does track workouts on Wednesdays. So there's a variety of groups if you're wanting to get active. Couch to 5K programs will start up in June for different races. So, back in 1984, we were announced the runningest city in the United States through Runner's Magazine, and I think that still holds true with the amount of activity we have in the running community in the Johnson City area.
Great interview. Great job, young lady. I know you're busy. Won't keep you. So thegoosechase.org. Come see me next week. Get a chance. Let's promote it again because I think you're a pretty cool lady. I'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you, Tom.
All right. Neat lady right there. Again, our buddy Karen Hubbs from the Goose Chase, goosechase.org. We appreciate her very, very much here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Hey, Jeremiah just said, thank you, Jeremiah. He is awesome. I'm telling you, if you guys want somebody out there to take care of your social media and somebody who does it with very conscious about what he does, this guy and his partner, Michael Smith, from Appalachian Digital, they do it for you and can get her done. And so he just sent me our very first, Johnny Phillips, first contest entry, Johnny Phillips. He's put his name in the hat to win Thunder Valley National tickets. Why would you not? These are grandstand passes plus a pit access as well, so you can be up in the grandstands, get down to the pits, and check out, meet the drivers, John Forrest and Courtney Forrest and all the NHRA drivers. So all you got to do is, if you see on the screen, go to TomTaylorSports.com/contest. We're giving away 10 pairs of tickets. We'll give those away and announce the winners on June the 13th, which is race week for Thunder Valley National. So, again, here is the here's the logo. Oh, I mean, I guess I've got to put that back up on the screen. So I just get excited. Thank you, Johnny Phillips. Here is the, right here. There it is, Thunder Valley Nationals. Of course, here's the whole ticket pricing of all the tickets. But you know what? We're going to make it easy for you. There it is. Move your finger, Tom. Thunder Valley Nationals. Focus. We're in the process, by the way, of getting a better camera, and that's a whole other story that I may let Jeremiah talk about, how you can contribute to the show and help us get upgrade our cameras, and we'll take this thing to the next level. So anyway, that's what's coming up. Johnny Phillips qualified. I don't know where he lives, but that's okay. Johnny Phillips is our first entry for we just put that up about an hour ago, and so congratulations to Johnny. He hasn't won, but his name's in the bucket to get registered for free tickets to Father's Day weekend, Thunder Valley Nationals, the NHRA, and we appreciate him very much. Tom Taylor Sports Show, we're live here again at Chick-Fil-A. By the way, I told Connie during the break, this stuff is, I like it. I like it a lot. The watermelon mint lemonade, fresh squeezed Chick-fil-A lemonade mixed with natural watermelon and mint flavors. Best results, stir before you sip. Also available, diet lemonade is a lower calorie option for a limited time. Hot today is a good thing to cool down with. Watermelon lemonade and watermelon mint lemonade. And then on the other side of the card is a brand new sandwich here. It's called a Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich. Grilled chicken with brown sugar with pepper blend bacon. Topped with Colby Jack cheese and Smokehouse barbecue sauce. Served on a toasted sweet yeast bun for a limited time. The Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich, brand spanking new. Today, maybe, Connie? Today's the first day? Couple of days? Started this week, both of them? There it is. I'm not going to ask. She's lost her voice. So she's like, Tom, why are you asking me to talk? I can't talk. Quit asking me questions. I'm sorry. Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich right there. Again, available to all Chick-fil-A's. But, hey, we're at the one that counts, the one at the crossings in North Johnson City. And also with the watermelon mint lemonade. There you go. 2 brand new items for the summertime here, again, at Chick-fil-A. All right, let's take a look at the National Football League. You know, we keep telling you all the different sports are going to, in the process of making them quicker, shorter games, shorter races, shorter football games, shorter basketball games, shorter baseball games, and so the NFL is about to do the same thing. Get ready to see more ties, which I think is wrong, in the National Football League. According to a report from the NFL.com, the league's owners are expected to approve a rule change shortening the length of overtime from 15 minutes down to 10 minutes. The proposal was originally raised at the owners' meetings in March, but was tabled at the time. It will be discussed again at next week's meetings, where they said it'll get approved. For a proposal to become an NFL rule, it has to get a yes vote from 24 of the league's 32 owners. That means the 23 owners are going to vote for it in March, have convinced at least one of the 9 reported holdouts to switch sides at some point in the last 2 months. So the league feels that teams are at a real disadvantage when they have to play a Thursday game following a Sunday game where they played a 15-minute overtime. A better way to solve that would be not to have teams play a Thursday game following a Sunday game at all, but we know that's not going to happen. So they're going to shorten, they're going to vote on it today. They're going to talk about shortening NFL overtime games from 15 down to 10 minutes. Also from the National Football League, player safety, one of the biggest issues facing football right now. NFL has purchased the new 0-1 helmet, all capital letters, 0-1 helmet from the Seattle-based startup company Vicus, and will distribute these in practice this spring. It's a pliable outer layer, an impact-absorbing core layer that cushions the wearer's head against violent collisions, all for the most part while maintaining the look and shape of a classic football helmet. All right, it's called 0-1, and so this is a brand new helmet being unveiled at the National Football League for mini camps this summer, and hopefully put them into play this fall, so it's called 01, and in testing against 33 other helmets to measure which best reduces the severity of impact of the head, the 01 finished first, including in that study were helmets from Rydell and Schutt, hope I'm saying it right, SCHUTT, which currently account for about 90% of helmet sales in the National Football League. And so the 01 is a better and safer helmet up against these they're currently using. So members of the advisory team include Richard Sherman, Alex Smith, Jerry Reich, Tony Dorsett, Roger Staubach, and more. The advisory team to make helmets safer in the National Football League. So they're going to unveil it's all capital letters, ZERO 01 helmet. And so that's supposed to be the safest helmet out there in the National Football League. So we'll take a look at that coming up again, starting with the mini camps a little bit later on in the year. Tom Taylor Sports Show again. We are live at Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. We would like for you to know all about the Milligan College basketball camps. We're going to be there broadcasting live in Milligan June the 5th. 5th and 6th at Milligan on that Monday and Tuesday. Coach Robinson has already 194 campers signed up. Kids love to go to the Milligan basketball camp, and so you can as well. Just go to MilliganBuffs.com and look up under camps. They've got camps coming up May 30th at Gray Elementary School in Gray, June the 5th at Milligan, July the 3rd at Love Chapel in Irwin, July 10th at Milligan College, and July 24th at Colonial Heights Christian Church. So they've got 5 different camps. Again, one at Gray, two at Milligan on campus where we're going to be, one at Irwin at Love Chapel Elementary, and one in Colonial Heights at Colonial Heights Christian Church. So they're making it even easier for the camps to come to you. And so 194 kids already registered for the first 5 weeks of camp. So that's a great start. So again, MilliganBuffs.com, and just look under basketball camps, and there it is for Coach Robinson at Milligan College. Again, we're going to be there broadcasting live for the camps. That first camp anyway on June the 5th and 6th at Milligan College. Don't forget, coming up this Thursday night at Street Fights at Bristol Dragway. Gates open at 5, racing starts at 6, it ends at 10 o'clock. You can bring your vehicle up to Bristol Dragway and compete. Take whatever you're driving in there, pickup truck, minivan, SUV, pocket rocket, clunker, I don't know what you got, but station wagon, but Street Fights. Again, gates open at 5, racing starts at 6, event ends at 10 o'clock. And again, that's coming up this Thursday night, Street Fights at Bristol Dragway. Again, and we would encourage you to be there and be a part of that. If you're so inclined, take your vehicle up there and rumble down the strip where they're going to be there Father's Day weekend. Again, the greatest NHRA drivers in the world will be in town for the Thunder Valley Nationals, so you can drive on the same track they're on, and that's pretty cool stuff. It's called Street Fights. It's Thursday night, beginning at 5 o'clock. Again, that's going to be, as we said, at Thunder Valley at Bristol Dragway. This weekend, U.S. Short Track Nationals happening, again at Bristol Motor Speedway. Tickets are on sale for Saturday's racing, $25 for adults, $5 for kids. Sunday, $35 ticket for adults, $5 for kids. You bump it up 10 because rumor has it some of the Cup drivers are going to be there. I know Bubba Wallace Jr. is going to be there from the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and Sterling Marlin from Columbia, Tennessee, with 10 wins under his belt, all-time 10 wins in the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series. And so Sterling Marlin will be there, and there's a bunch of surprises coming on Sunday. So a $35 ticket on Sunday, $5 for adults, or rather $5 for kids, $35 for adults, and then a combination ticket for both days, a $50 ticket on Saturday and a $10 ticket on Sunday for kids. So it's all happening again coming up this Saturday and Sunday at Bristol Motor Speedway. Again, it is called the Short Track U.S. Nationals. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, over 500 cars will be at Bristol Motor Speedway in 5 or 6 different divisions or classes coming up again on Saturday and Sunday at the world's fastest half mile. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be some great stuff, and we're looking forward to finding out how it shakes out and how it goes coming up again. We find out a little bit later on Sunday. Actually, on Monday, we'll come back and report to you. Monday will be at Mike's Medicine Mart in Kingsport. Also, don't forget, before we go to the break, if you're looking for your tickets to go to Thunder Valley Nationals or let's talk about the Circle Track. At Food City, you can get your Xfinity Series tickets for only $30, and also your Bass Pro Shop NRA night race tickets for only $60 for a limited time at Food City. At all Food Cities will be at Food City on Volunteer Parkway in Bristol on Friday, having a big time. So you can get your Food City tickets. Again, the Xfinity Series race, a $30 ticket for the Food City 300 on that Friday, August the 18th. Then on Saturday, August the 19th, the toughest ticket in NASCAR, the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race ticket. It is a $60 ticket right now in that general admission section for Food City. It was a trial balloon. It went over so big and so good that Food City has expanded it not only to the Cup race in the fall, but also to the Thunder Valley Nationals. So it's all good, and so those tickets available again now at Food City. As we go to the break, Greg Salyer joins us next. Don't forget baseball tonight. It is the Region 1 AA Championship. We had over 1,000 views on Monday, which is for only doing 5 or 6 ball games so far this season. That's pretty cool. And so we have Elizabethton and Greenville tonight, the AA Championship from Joe Bryan Stadium, 5:45 airtime, 6 o'clock first pitch. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. He's here. He's ready. Greg Salyer talking baseball, as they say somewhere. We say baseball. Somewhere they say baseball. I don't know. See, every time he gets here, I start acting goofy. Him and Angie. The minute he walks in, I start acting stupid. Watermelon mint lemonade. That's the newest thing right now. The new summertime drink. Brittany brought one to me, and it is good. And also the brand new sandwich is the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich. Woohoo! Brand new, just been out a week, and so those are the two new summertime items here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. We're talking baseball next with Greg Salyer, show number 520 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
We're back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. There he is, ready to go. We'll talk baseball coming up with him in just a second. Let's run down the scoreboard from yesterday and last night. First off, in the National League, Atlanta gets another win. Okay, they're making some progress. They moved up to third now in the division, behind, or I should say, ahead of the Phillies and Miami. They beat Toronto 9-5. Washington doubles up Pittsburgh 8-4. It was the Astros, the hottest team in baseball, all over Miami, 12-2. Texas beat Philadelphia 5-1. The Twins, who made Major League, or I should say club history, we'll talk about that in a moment. Greg's got that story. Colorado beat them 7-3. It was Boston doubling up the Cardinals 6-3. It was Arizona 5, the Mets 4. Mets got problems. Milwaukee 6, San Diego 2. And the Dodgers and San Francisco Giants got them 2-1 on the left coast. In the American League, it was Tampa Bay 6, Cleveland 4. It was the Yankees over Kansas City 7-1. Baltimore in the football score beat Detroit 13-11. It was the White Sox and the Angels. Big Albert did it again. Pujols and the Angels win 7-6, and Oakland defeated Seattle. Final there was 9-6. That's Major League Baseball. The results now, the scores today. The schedule today rather. We got a couple of day games. 3 in the National League. It's Houston, Miami, the Mets at Arizona, the Dodgers at San Francisco. Tonight under the lights, Washington at Pittsburgh, Toronto at Atlanta, Cincinnati will be in Chicago against the Cubbies, Philadelphia at Texas, Colorado at Minnesota. The Red Sox continue their series at Busch Stadium against Mike Leake and the St. Louis Cardinals, and Milwaukee will be at San Diego. Cubs, I jumped right over that one. Cubs beat Cincinnati 9-5. Why did I miss that opportunity?
How did you miss that?
Yeah, why would I miss that chance to get a little yeah. But
you had to remind me.
A friendly reminder. In the National League, he knows I'm going to razz him a little bit about the Redlegs. In the National League, Tampa Bay at Cleveland today. Tonight, I should say American League. Baltimore, Detroit, Toronto at Atlanta, Philadelphia at Texas, Colorado at Minnesota, the Yankees at Kansas City, White Sox against the Angels in L.A., and Oakland continues their series in Seattle against the Mariners. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Got to check it out, the brand new sandwich. It is a smokehouse. I still haven't done that right. Smokehouse barbecue bacon sandwich, grilled chicken, brown sugar, pepper. Why do I make that so difficult? I have a college degree.
Yeah, you have to move it the opposite direction of you think.
I could never be a weatherman.
Yeah, you'd be pointing at Albuquerque talking about.
I'd be pointing Indiana talking about Florida.
Yeah.
So pepper blend. Wait a minute, you can't agree with me on that. Pepper blend bacon, Colby Jack cheese. Let's just read it. Forget it. Colby Jack cheese, smokehouse barbecue sauce served on a toasted sweet yeast bun, and then also the new drink, the watermelon mint lemonade, and that's good. You tried it?
It's extremely good. I have it right here. It's good.
Yep, good stuff. All right, Greg's with us. Major League Baseball update. He does this every week, and jump in there and go, my friend. What do you want to tell us about?
Yeah, let's talk. Let's kind of break down the divisions. Let's look at what's going on in each division and see what's happening in the pennant races. First of all, American League East. The Yankees seem to be the team to beat. They're half a game ahead of Baltimore now. I think that division is going to go back and forth. I think those two teams are going to fight it out hard, and let's not count Boston out of that yet either. I think they're still there. Tampa Bay and Toronto both under 500, fading a little bit, and probably neither one of those teams are going to contend this year. I've heard some people say that Toronto just hasn't got hot yet and that they will and that they'll be a contender. I don't see it unless something really drastic changes in Toronto. Yeah.
Nah.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Thinking for a long haul.
Bautista is not hitting for average or for power, and they put a lot of money into him, and they're not getting what they're paid for there. So they depend on him quite a bit in that lineup, and it's not happening. So I don't see Toronto doing what they would like to do in that division this year.
They're 6 under already, 17-23. They're 8 out. So, you got to give props to Baltimore. They're hanging. Yankees a game lead now in the division over Baltimore, four better than Boston. But, Baltimore 8 over 22-14. They're hanging around, right?
Yeah, they are. And the Yankees are I've got to give them credit. I think they're better than I thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season. Some of these young guys are really producing. I watched that 2-game series against the Reds in Cincinnati. And, I was impressed with what I saw, especially hitting-wise. Yeah, Judge is phenomenal. Sanchez is going to come around. He's not hitting with the power he hit with last year, which I don't think anyone expected him to duplicate what he did last year, coming in and hitting 20 home runs in like 50-something games, which is just ridiculous. That's not going to happen consistently over his career. But he's heating up a little bit, and these young guys for the Yankees are really showing that they deserve to be in the major leagues.
We talked about it yesterday on the show at Phil's Dream Pit. They cleaned house at Minnesota front office after lost over 100 games. Here they are, half game in the lead. At least they're 3 over. They're playing obviously much better baseball. It's early, but they're a half game over as a leader over Cleveland, a game and a half better than Detroit. But the Twins are playing better baseball, and they set a club franchise record. Actually, they tied it yesterday, I believe it was. It's with regards to home runs. Tell me about that. What's going on with that?
The Twins are phenomenal this year. I mean, I didn't see this coming. I mean, I knew they had some good young guys. I think Byron Buxton still is going to have to have a higher on-base percentage for them to really play well. But you know, these guys are really doing some things, and now they tied a franchise record that was set in 1979 with their 16th straight game in which they've hit a home run. So that's big. And you know, I think the fact that they stuck with Paul Molitor after the season they had last year, that was a little bit of a surprise for me. I think a lot of it had to do with who Paul Molitor used to be, maybe more than who he was as a manager. But he's producing this year. He's getting these young guys playing. And maybe they just realized, okay, we just don't have a team that can compete last year. Let's try to give him a little bit better players out there on the field and see what he can do. And he's showing that he can stay right there at the top of this division so far this year. You know, we're still not 50 games in, but at 50 games in, if they're still there, who knows? They could be there at the end of the season.
We're taking a look at the American League. We'll take a look at the National League coming up here in a minute. But you look in the American League, obviously, if you're a Royals fan, they're not getting it done. They're 16-22. They're 4.5 out. They're underperforming, I would think, after being World Series team a couple of years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
And so the Royals go from World Series team down to in the bottom of the cellar of the Central Division. Yes, it's early, but still, you know, we're 38 games into it. You know, and as Greg said earlier in the month, you take a look at about the 50 game mark, kind of assess where you are. So they're almost there, and they're 16-22. So they got to be disappointed in Kansas City.
Yeah, they are. They, you know, I said earlier with the loss of Yordano Ventura, you know, when your ace dies in the off season, and a very young man, I think he was like 25 years old, something like that, and then he passed away in the off season. It was impossible for them to replace him, and they just couldn't do it, and it shows this year. So. Kansas City's having a rough year. You know, Cleveland's making some moves. They're doing everything they can do to stay there at the top of the division. I still think that they will probably win that division before the season is over. But, you know, Tyler Naquin just wasn't producing there in center field. So they brought up this Zimmer kid, you know, and if he can hit, he's going to be their center fielder of the future. And he's shown he can hit in the minor leagues. So if he can hit major league pitching, he will be their center fielder of the future. You know, they've been trying Lonnie Chisenhall in center field. He's not a center fielder. I mean, to be honest, I was concerned when I saw him in right field because I remember Lonnie Chisenhall as a third baseman.
Oh.
And that's how I always think of him, as a third baseman. I struggle with him in the outfield at all, but to think that he was playing center field, you know, he's no Billy Hamilton in center field, that's for sure. He's not the fastest guy on the team. And he's going to be thrilled to death that they've brought this guy up and moved him back over to right. I can tell you that. If there's anybody happy about that, he's happy about that.
That's good. Make that move, Coach. Get me out of center field.
Yeah, I mean, he's just not built like a center fielder. You know, he's a tall, lanky guy, but he's kind of a laid-back, slow-moving kind of guy. You know, and I always think of him as a third baseman still. But you know, he's playing right field for the Indians right now. And he's just happy to be out of center.
He just described me. What was it? Tall, lanky, kind of a slow-moving
guy. Yeah, that's right. That describes you as well.
Tall, lanky. I don't know if I'm lanky, but I'm a slow-moving kind of guy.
That's your new nickname, Lonnie Chisenhall.
Just
very
church,
similar.
You're going to say, hey, Lonnie.
Hey, Lonnie. Everybody's going to look up, what is your problem?
That's good. You made me snort. That's good. Oh, me, oh, my. So, again, they're not happy, obviously, in Kansas City. Cleveland, as you said, bringing up the Zimmer kid.
Yeah.
The obvious bunch that is happy, they're the hottest team in baseball. The Houston Astros leading the Western Division. He called it back in spring training. He said, watch the Astros. These guys have all the makings of having a heck of a year, and they're right now 16 over. They're 28-12 on their record, and again, the best team in baseball right now. And you called it. Of course, again, it's early, but still, they're out of the gate in the big time. It's a very impressive start.
Yeah, I think the really one thing that I threw out there that I said we've got to be careful of and watch for the Astros is, can Dallas Keuchel pitch like he pitched in 2015 instead of like he pitched in 2016? And so far he is. So far he is putting up those Cy Young numbers just like he did in 2015. Of course, last year was a down year for him. But, when the guy does it once, you got to think, okay, he can figure it out and maybe do it again. And that's exactly what he's doing this year. So he is he's on fire. And Houston's the team to beat in that division. But also look out for Texas. They've won 7 in a row. And they are out of the cellar. They're playing 500 ball at this point. And I didn't know that we would see that. I really picked them up at the top of the division before the season started. And after, a few weeks, and you see them there at the bottom, and the record was just horrendous. They're at 500, so they're going to be a force to reckon with, I think, before that division is settled this year.
Dave Angie, the Johnson City Press, joins us at the bottom of the hour. Again, we've got baseball today, 5:45 airtime, 6 o'clock first pitch from Joe O'Brien Stadium. It's a cool place to call baseball, too. I love calling it right behind the backstop, right where the action is, and so we will have it for you. The Elizabethton Cyclones and Greenville Green Devils coming up again today for the Region 1 AA Championship. The other side of the equation, or the bracketing, is Pigeon Forge and CAK. If Elizabethton wins tonight against a really good 29-3 Greenville team, we would be at home on Friday night. If they lose, then Elizabethton travels Friday. And, of course, you win the game Friday, no matter where you play. If you win Friday, you head off to the state tournament, which Elizabethton has not done for 5 years. Last time they went was at 2012. So big game today. Again, looks like Brody Adams will get the baseball for Ryan Presnell. We'll call it again. Had over 1,000 views on the game on Monday, which we certainly appreciate. 5:45 airtime, 6 o'clock first pitch. You look at the National League, Greg Sal, you look at one team, and beside their name is Trainwreck, the New York Mets. Thor Syndergaard shut down to August. Matt Harvey out drunk, got a hangover. Got a migraine, called the wrong person on purpose that he wasn't coming in. We talked all about that Monday at the Speedway because of Landon Owen, the director of ticket sales for the Speedway, is a big Mets fan. So I took a chance. It's not just you. I wear out anybody I can wear out. So I stoked his fire a little bit. He didn't like it too well. But in his defense, he said the guy's a bum, got to get rid of him because he said he's not a team player. Ironically enough, Harvey pitches today in Arizona, 3:40 first pitch. So, again, the Mets 16-21. They're 8.5 out. And I think Jose Reyes called out Harvey right after this happens. If you're going to be a leader of the team, be a leader of the team. Man up. Yeah. That tells me inside the clubhouse we got problems. What do you think?
Yeah, and when a guy's calling you out that has had domestic violence issues in the past, that's a problem. And, I mean, that was one thing I started thinking about, wow, who's he to call somebody out? Really. But he's doing it. I mean, I guess that's behind him. And he's at that point in his career where he can do that and take some leadership in the clubhouse and make that call to call out a pitcher like that. The Mets have lost 6 in a row. I write it down. The Nationals could win this division by the end of August.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's that bad a division?
It's that bad. I mean, look, the Mets are in second place, and they have a 16-22 record. So, it's that bad. I mean, unless Atlanta really cranks it up, and they're going to have to do something personnel-wise, I think, to do that. I just don't think they have the personnel to compete with Washington at all. The Nationals, they're going to win the division early September, end of August.
How bad is the division? Atlanta's in third place. That ought to tell you something. And they're not very good at all. So,
yeah, I mean, the Mets are already Mets and the Braves are both 9 games back.
Wow.
So, this division, the Nationals are going to win this division by 25 games.
All-Star break, you may see the Mets start unloading people.
You might.
It may be a wholesale fire sale in New York. Central Division, guess who's up on the top? He loves to say this. I had Rob Cole on yesterday. He's a big Cardinals fan. He said, well, Big T, we're starting to make a little noise. I said, of course, he was crying the blues right out of the gate. I said, Cole, 162-game season. Come on now, give me a break. So there they are, 21-16. They're in first place by a game over. Is Milwaukee a surprise being second place for you?
Milwaukee's a big surprise for me. I picked Milwaukee fourth in that division. Milwaukee, I probably didn't give their pitching enough credit. That's probably where I fell short with them. They are a surprise. I was anxious to see this Eric Thames guy, and he's impressed me. I think from what I've been hearing, there's a lot of teams that would like to get Ryan Braun maybe at the trade deadline, but I don't know if the Brewers are going to be sellers if they continue to be in second place. Now, there's still a long time left before that happens. So, they may not be there at that point in time, and they may be sellers by then. But, I think the surprise team for most people in that division is the Cubs. The Cubs are the only team in that division with a losing record at home. And, you want to win everywhere, but you really want to win at home. If you're not winning at home, then, you have a better shot of winning at home than you do on the road.
Got to win your home
baseball.
games.
Yeah.
Especially in the division.
Exactly. So, they play the Reds tonight. They may even it up and be 500 at home after tonight. But, it's interesting because, they're sticking with Schwarber leading off, and his average is just not what you want for a leadoff hitter. His on-base percentage is not what you want for a leadoff hitter. Joe Madden got his 1,000th win as a manager last night. So that's a pretty cool thing that happened. And a lot of guys manage for a long time and never get there, and he was able to pull that off last night. So, I don't really see anybody running away with this division, to be honest. I think the Cubs will perhaps be there toward the end. St. Louis is St. Louis. They find a way to win every year no matter what happens. I call them Teflon. They can get a guy hurt and bring up a guy from the minors, and he'll pitch like Tom Seaver, So that's just how they are. It's just nothing seems to affect them, and so they're leading the division now. They'll probably be in contention all season, and the Cubs will be in contention with them as well. Another surprise, the Reds are at 500. I didn't expect that, to be honest. They're overperforming compared to what I expected, and the bad thing about that is though people are getting excited. Thinking. Well, I mean, not necessarily this week. Last week, people were getting excited. Okay, when the Reds had that 6-game win streak, and and they were on top of the division. The people that I talk to that are Reds fans, especially online, people who are in Cincinnati, there was one guy that commented and said, "Don't get excited yet, okay?
Yep.
They're playing good right now, but don't get your hopes up. Don't get so built up that you think this team is going to win the division, because they're probably not."
My buddy riding the way with Dave in Cincinnati, I'm on WLW every Saturday night. He said the other day, he calls me Tommy, which I love. He says, "Tommy, we've won 3 or 4 games. That may sell 3 or 4 more tickets in Cincinnati." He is hilarious. Yeah. So I said, "Well, you don't think they're going to make the playoffs?" He said, and he paused for a second. He said, "What are you smoking down there in Tennessee?" He said, "No, we're not going to make the playoffs." But anyway, they are playing better baseball. Yeah. In the West, are you surprised that Colorado is your leader over the Dodgers right now?
I am surprised at that. Now, the Dodgers have been hit hard with the injury bug. They've been hit hard with other things as well, and guys just not producing as well. But yeah, I am surprised at that. I thought Colorado was going to be a good team. They're better than I thought they were going to be, though. In Desmond being out for an extended period of time, I thought would hurt them more than it has. The Rockies are playing good ball. You can't deny it. They are the top team in that division right now for a reason. I think the team that surprises me even more than that is Arizona being number 2. Mm-hmm. I didn't see that one coming. Of course, Greinke flirted with a no-hitter last week, and so they're playing good ball. I'm so glad to see A.J. Pollock back in that lineup, after being hurt for almost all season last year. Got back right at the end of the season. I think played the last 3 weeks or something of the season. So I'm really glad to see him back and healthy and playing this year. Good quality ball player. The Diamondbacks, I think, are almost like the Reds to an extent. I think they're overperforming for what I thought they were going to do. But, at 50 games, let's see where these teams are. And, they'll have to decide when it comes time for the trade deadline. Are we going to be buyers or sellers? Is this our year is what they're going to have to decide.
Before we wrap up our segment again with Greg Salyer, Major League Baseball update, let's talk about a guy that stays, I wouldn't say he stays under the radar, but he's out in L.A. and you don't hear much, at least I don't hear much about him, but we should, because the guy is a consummate gentleman off the field. He's an ambassador not only for baseball but for being a Christian sports athlete, and or Christian athlete, not student athlete, sports athlete, but a Christian athlete in a world that's looking for role models. Albert Pujols, another big milestone for this guy who's no question punching his ticket to Cooperstown when it's all said and done, but he continues to quietly, I guess, for lack of a better term, go up all the all-time home runs and RBI list, and so he's hit another milestone. Tell me about it.
Yeah, Albert Pujols has passed Carl Yastrzemski for 13th place all-time in RBIs with 1,847 RBIs, and I mean that's quite an achievement, because when I started looking at these numbers, only 3 players in baseball history have 2,000 or more RBIs, and one of those names might surprise you a little bit, but of course the leaders, Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth is number 2, A-Rod is number 3 in RBIs. All time with 2,086 RBIs. So to think that the guy's number 3 all time in RBIs, 696 home runs, 3,115 hits, probably not going to be in the Hall of Fame, at least for a while, just because of PED. Yeah.
So up next is Mel Ott, then Cap Anson, and Willie Mays. So there's another guy still under the radar for so many years, 9th all-time RBI guy, Eddie Murray. Never heard. You heard about him, but you didn't. And you look up, and the guy put up some phenomenal stats. And so there he is sitting. I always say quietly, because the other guys, you got of course Hank Aaron and Babe Ruth, as you said, and Bonds and Gehrig and Musial and Cobb and Jimmy Fox, and there's Eddie Murray, kind of stuck right there. So. Very quietly got it done. So's Pujols, very quietly getting it done. So you were telling me off air, he realistically could possibly move up to 10th spot if he continues to have a good season and catch Willie Mays, right?
Yeah, he could easily catch Willie Mays this season if he continues to produce. And I think the thing that surprised me when I started looking at the numbers of these guys, because I really sat down and looked at these numbers, some of these players, games played. Hank Aaron had 4,000 more at-bats than Babe Ruth. I mean, think about that. And they're only, 84 RBIs different in their careers.
So that tells you how good Babe Ruth was, right?
Yeah.
He had 4,000 less at-bats.
Yeah.
That's a chunk of at-bats.
Yeah, and here's something else people probably don't know about Babe Ruth. He had 136 triples in his career. Now, we think of him as...
That's like me.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we think about this big guy that would eat hot dogs during the game, and sometimes 6 or 7 hot dogs during the game, and probably not in the best shape in the world. But, 136 triples.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
In his career. Ty Cobb had 297 triples in his career, and the all-time leader, one guy has 300 or more triples in his career, and that is Sam Crawford with 309.
So here's a question, way off base, but back when Babe played, these guys now are getting 3 and 4 at-bats a game. Yeah. How many, on the average, how many did they get back then? Same or less or more? Probably more.
Probably more.
Yeah.
Probably more. One of the things that a lot of people think is maybe the pitching wasn't as good then as it is now. I struggle with that. I have a hard time believing that. But if you look, what I did was I clicked on some of these different stats, and if you look at the all-time leaders in triples, the most current player on that list of the top 50 was Roberto Clemente.
That's pretty strong.
He was the most current player. So, everybody else that was on that list played before him. And Stan Musial, I think, was the next current player. So a lot of the guys played in the 1800s that are on that list. So triples are just not something you see much anymore. Except this year, there tends to be more. Billy Hamilton went on a triple streak there for a while where he had 4 in 4 games, I think, or something.
Bring up the Reds every time.
Absolutely. I have to bring them up when I can, when I get the opportunity. But you were talking about Eddie Murray. When I was looking at these numbers, too, there was something that struck me really strange about Eddie Murray. I remember him as being a real high average guy. When he played for the Orioles, I think he averaged something like 33 home runs and like a 325 average over a period of years there in his days in Baltimore when he was young. But when I started looking at the batting average of all these guys who are the leaders in RBIs all time, in the top 10, he is the only batter with a less than 295 batting average for his career, and he ended up with 287 batting average.
Sorry.
Yeah, and that surprised me. I was surprised that he wasn't at 300 or beyond.
It's interesting stuff. This guy dissects the stats. Our buddy Greg Salyer, Major League Baseball update. What's going to be going on in the church house Sunday? Sunday
is, I hate to say it's any day is a normal day, but this is going to be more of a normal Sunday for us. We've had Mother's Day this past week, and big celebration there, and a lot of things happening. So this week we're going to be looking at the book of Acts. I've been preaching a lot of Acts lately, and not necessarily intentionally going straight to Acts, but just a lot of passages have been really speaking to me personally when it comes to that. So we're going to be there, and just seeing how certain things happen in the early church that we need to remember and look at in our own lives, and see how we can replicate some of those things in the church today.
There you go. It's coming up again this Sunday at the old church house on Cherokee Road, Southwestern Baptist. There again is the sandwich, the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich. You going to try it?
I'm going to try it.
There you go.
That's what I'm having today.
Report back. Let me know. Appreciate you.
All right.
We'll do it next week. Right here. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Dave Audrey joins us next by phone. We are at Chick-Fil-A in the Crossings in North Johnson City, show number 520 for the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here, with the ratio, goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Normally you get to see a smiling face here, but today we can't because he's there. He's our buddy Dave Angie from the Johnson City Press. And good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Man, I am fantastic. But if this were NASCAR, I would be a starting park today because my car is not running. So, but well, good to be with you over the phone anyway.
Absolutely. At least it's better than nothing, the way I look at it. So let's talk about NASCAR. It's a good segue. Let's roll right into it. Kansas Speedway, Eric Almirola breaks that vertebra in his back. And, of course, the win pulled down by Martin Truex Jr. But kind of give me your thoughts on the racing this weekend at Kansas Speedway.
Yeah, it's kind of a reminder of NASCAR. I mean, just covering the race at Bristol a few weeks ago, we're all kind of up in the press box and a little bit guilty of, we've seen some pretty big hits. Danica had a big hit that race. And, we've gotten to the point with safety now where people that watch the sport a lot think nothing of it when these cars hit each other at incredible speeds. And, they think, the driver will get out, everything will be okay. But it's kind of a reminder that, safety is never, you're never at the finish line when it comes to safety. And they're always looking for ways to make the cars safer and the walls safer and everything else. And, just kind of a reminder there that, that's something to keep working on. And for Eric Almirola, it looked terrible at first. I'm glad that the injury is what it is. It's something Denny Hamlin had a few years back. He had a compression fracture. His was lower in his back. And one thing that Hamlin tweeted out about Almirola is, the rough thing for Almirola is going to be that he's going to feel like he's ready to get back in a race car long before the doctors will clear him or his body actually will be ready and that injury will be healed. So looks like it might be an extended time out for Almirola, which is a shame for him. He's had some success there with the Richard Petty organization, and they've had some good finishes, and I know that's going to be frustrating for him. But other than that, when you look at the racing, Truex again, up there near the front of the pack, it's amazing what that Furniture Row team has been able to do, and they've added a second car this year with Eric Jones, so things really looking up for them, and just an amazing story of a team that's located, out there in Colorado, a long way away from the racing hub in North Carolina, being able to be successful.
Absolutely. We're talking to Dave Angie, again, a sports writer of the Johnson City Press. And you look at Joe Gibbs Racing, and then we talk to Pat Patterson every week from the Performance Racing Network every Friday. And so he says, the biggest mystery so far of the season, there's no W's beside any of those guys' names. That would be Kenseth, Busch, Suarez, and, of course, Hamlin, as you mentioned. So I don't know what's going on in the Gibbs camp, but it's not anywhere where they wanted to be. They normally have gotten multiple wins by now, but they don't have a single solitary victory so far this year. And what do you attribute that to?
I think Carl Edwards' retirement kind of threw him for a loop a little bit as a whole organization, because you go from having your plan set to have those veteran drivers to all of a sudden you have Suarez in that seat. And it kind of shuffled things up a little bit. And I'm sure, in terms of personnel and everything else, maybe threw him a little bit of curveball there. Another part of it, I mean, in this sport, we've seen teams go on streaks like Gibbs did last year where they were just racking up victories. It had been a kind of a 2-year stretch where they'd done that. But, in NASCAR, it's one of those deals where you don't stay on top like that very long before everybody else starts catching up to you. I remember years ago when it seemed like Roush Racing, they were going to win everything. They had 5 cars, and they were winning just about every week. And people said, man, this is something that, nobody's ever going to stop this. They're just dominant. They even made a rule to cap teams at 4 cars because Roush had 5 that were running so strong every single week. So, and of course, in between then and now, there have been a lot of teams, Hendrick being the prime example of being on the top of the heap and seemed like nobody could run with them. So that's always the evolution of NASCAR. When you're on top like that, somebody's going to come knock you off at some point. I think that's happened to a certain extent with Gibbs, and I think the resurgence of Ford and how good Penske has been has played a key role in that as well. They're still running up front, though, and their equipment's still good enough. Truex is basically running what Gibbs is running, and he's able to win races. So that's, I believe that's a sign that they're strong. It's just a matter of, that organization kind of getting it back together and refocused and back in victory lane.
This week it's a non-points race, rather, but they're playing racing for $1 million, the Monster Energy All-Star Race. Compare this to other All-Star games, the NBA, Major League Baseball, National Hockey League, the Pro Bowl, of course, NFL. Is this good for NASCAR to stop right now before the Coca-Cola 600 and have this Monster Energy All-Star Race? Is this good for the fans? Do the fans like it? What's your take on this race?
I think in the whole grand scheme of all-star events, you mentioned a lot of them in other major sports, I think this is actually the closest to, you know, real competition that you see. You know, when you look at the NBA All-Star game, it's a joke. It was this year. I mean, nobody plays defense. You know, they're scoring about almost 200 points, you know, in that game. It doesn't really resemble what happens, you know, in the NBA. And, of course, the Pro Bowl is so embarrassing at this point. They ought to just put flags on them and play flag football because there's so little contact. There's so little contact in that. You know, I've covered, you know, a lot of sporting events, and that's just an embarrassing one right there, and one they should get rid of. So you start looking at that All-Star race, and they try new ideas every year to kind of ratchet it up a little bit and you know, make it more competitive. But I think what we've seen out of that race is when you compare it across the board to other events, I think you see about the same intensity you see in other race weeks, and especially in that last segment. So, yeah, you know, NASCAR, that's one area they don't have to worry about. I think they put on a pretty good All-Star event.
Yeah, they're racing for $1 million this weekend. Then they come back next weekend for the Coca-Cola 600. If you're Richard Petty Motorsports, obviously Eric Amarola's not ready to go with that broken T5 vertebra in his back. So if he can't, or he obviously can't go, who do you put in that seat on a short-term situation? And I keep thinking of the name Greg Biffle. I don't know if that'd be one they'd go after, but in your humble opinion, because you cover NASCAR for the Johnson City Press, who does Richard Petty Motorsports get maybe as early as this weekend for the All-Star race?
I'll give you a good one. I'd give Bubba Wallace if I were them, because, you know, he's a guy who I think his sponsorship's getting ready to run out, you know, which is a hard luck situation for him because they've run so well in the Xfinity Series. You know, but for whatever reason, Roush Fenway has had a hard time locking up sponsorship for him. I don't know if they have that resolved or not. I know it was an issue as of Bristol. They were really scrambling to find out if they were going to be able to race beyond Charlotte. So here's a guy all of a sudden that's an up-and-coming driver that's got a Ford affiliation, you know, who just needs a shot. You know, I think he would be an excellent choice to put in that car, see what he can do with it. You know, I think for Ford in the future, as they try to build, you know, moving ahead, I think they need to kind of see where a guy like Wallace, who's under contract, you know, does he have what it takes to run competitively in Cup equipment? And all of a sudden the seat comes open at a time where he can put his focus on that because his Xfinity deal, I believe, is running out. So, yeah, put him in there, give him a shot. I've always been a fan of him. The first time I saw him race, he was running up at Lonesome Pine Raceway up in Coburn, Virginia, and, you know, just a developmental driver at the time, but I was just really impressed with him and, you know, just interviewing him there for a while and watching him race. You know, you can just tell, even on that level with guys that have got it, you can tell when they do, and I think he's one that does. And, yeah, it would be nice to see him get a shot, and I hope that's the way it goes down.
Talking again to our buddy Dave Angie on the phone, again, the Johnson City Press. Thanks again to Johnny Phillips, our first qualifier we're giving away tickets to, as we told you, Thunder Valley Nationals. We've got grandstand passes and a combined grandstand and a pit pass to give away. Got 10 pairs. All you have to do to get qualified, it's very simple, is to go, you'll see it on the screen, there it is, TomTaylorSports.com/contest. And Dave, I know you'll probably be up there covering some of that as well. That's a really cool event, and it's not that far away. And so Father's Day weekend, Thunder Valley Nationals, it's a different crowd than the NASCAR crowd, but it's one that loves Bristol. The drivers love Bristol, and it's just really a great weekend at Thunder Valley.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's always a lot of fun, and, you know, it's I love covering NASCAR, and but the NHRA, for me, I have such a good time at that event. You know, with NASCAR, I think I enjoy the racing more. With NHRA, you know, the drivers and the personalities and the people I get to interview and stories I get to do that weekend, I always really look forward to that. You know, it's such a great cast of characters and people out there. John Force, of course, being kind of the one everybody or most people know, but pretty much anybody you deal with is just wonderful. And when you buy a ticket to that event as a fan, you know, you can go right down to the pits. You can watch them work on the cars. You can kind of shake hands and get autographs from any driver you want. You know, if you wind up not seeing your favorite driver, you probably didn't try too hard because they're so available during that weekend, and that's just a lot of fun to kind of be a part of that. You know, and of course, when it comes to that qualifying session on Friday night, you know, where they're running under the lights and the Nitro division comes out and you see all the flames and everything. I mean, that's hard to beat, you know. And Bristol Dragway, just the setting of it is just such a nice place and a wonderful place to spend a weekend. So, you know, for folks who haven't been out or people with a little bit shorter of attention span, you know, it's definitely a fun form of racing to watch. Kids tend to love it, and definitely worth giving a shot this time around.
Talking to our buddy Dave Angie, we're going to get his take coming up here on the NBA playoffs coming up here in just a second. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A. And again, don't forget Elizabeth and Cyclone Baseball, 5:45 airtime. 6 o'clock first pitch coming up today again from Joe Bryan Stadium, Elizabeth and Greenville for the Region 1 AA Championship. We'll run down all the teams playing coming up here before we get off the air. And so, again, had over 1,000 views on the show Monday, and can't thank you enough. We had folks in Colorado and Florida listening to the broadcast, and we certainly appreciate that. And we'll do it right here where we are today at 5:45 this afternoon, 6 o'clock first pitch from O'Brien Stadium in Elizabeth. And so last night the Spurs get run off the floor 136-100. Popovich calls them out, said, you guys conceded before we went on the floor with Kawhi Leonard not going to be there. And so you all got spanked 136-100. And I don't know if it was reverse psychology or he just flat out mad, but he called them out. He normally doesn't do that. But he said, you guys went into that game never thinking you could win that ball game, and it showed. We got embarrassed. And so is that a psychological ploy, or what do you think Popovich got up his sleeve? By the way, Game 3, the next one's coming up Saturday. He hopes to have Leonard ready to go as the series shifts to San Antonio.
Yeah, Popovich to me has never been much of a psychological guy. He tends to kind of say whatever's on his mind. He'll put it out there. And I think that he legitimately was shocked and surprised, even without Leonard in the lineup. I think when you look at what they did with Houston, of course, the first game, Houston shoots lights out, and we talked about that, whether the Houston could keep that up from the three-point line the whole series, and as it turned out, they couldn't. And there were some games San Antonio shut that team down, and I think when you look at how dynamic Houston is offensively, that should translate over to where they should have put up a better defensive effort against Golden State, even though, the Warriors are, obviously everybody knows how dangerous they are. I don't think there's a big gap between, how good the Warriors are offensively and how good the Rockets were. So I think defensively is where he was really, really let down and frustrated that they didn't put up a better defensive effort, to kind of hold them down and give their team a chance, to win that game. And I think nothing psychological about it. I think he just was taken aback and shocked that a team that shut down the Rockets couldn't do a better job against the Warriors.
Game 1 tonight will be the Celtics hosting the Cavaliers. Cavaliers haven't played for 10 days, Dave Angie. Now, you saw Golden State in their first game being off for a while was obviously rather rusty against the Spurs. You see that same thing happening tonight, 10 days after playing, 2-3 times a week and playing basketball for about 6 months, I think it is. So just to stop cold turkey for 10 days, does that affect LeBron James and the Cavaliers or not?
I think LeBron, he's got a lot of mileage on him, even though he's not as old of a player because he started so young. When you look at how young he was when he got in the league and everything was on his shoulders from the get-go. He played a lot of minutes from his first season and has been that way ever since. And, a lot on his shoulders. So I think 10 days off, most coaches at this point of the year will tell you that they want the fresh legs. Now, they're going to be a little bit sloppy out there. I think you're going to see that. But, I think that the fresh legs might offset the fact that the Celtics were fighting for their lives for 7 games. I think that can wear a team down. I think, Cleveland, they're going to look probably the worst they look all series, in Game 1. But, I think moving forward, I think Cleveland's going to really get going and really get rolling. They're going to be the fresher team, and I think that's going to be the difference. I thought Washington was going to come out of the East, and they really gave the Celtics a scare. I think Washington may have matched up a tiny bit better with Cleveland than Boston does. But, after seeing Boston take Washington out and be as gutsy as they were with it, I'm not going to put anything past them. And, I just wonder how much gas is left in the tank for the Celtics at this point.
2 more topics. We'll let him go. Let's talk a little bit about the Predators, man. They come back to Nashville and get that big win last night to go 2-1 to the best of 7. Again, Game 4 tomorrow night in Nashville. But the Preds did it last night. They're up 2-1, trying to get to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm being from up north, I've always been really biased about hockey. I think that the northern fans, are always, I say, man, they're the ones that are really into hockey. Those are the ones that understand it. That's where hockey is born. That's the core of hockey up there. You look at Detroit and Chicago and, the Rangers and all that. But I'm going to tell you, the environment that they've generated, the fans have generated in Nashville is unbelievable. As good as I've seen anywhere. That city has really embraced hockey. And it is just, those people are wild. That's as good of a home rink advantage as there is anywhere in the game, and it's just amazing to watch. And I hope they get to go to the finals. For them, really gutting out a tough 2-1 win the other night to take his lead in that series. I think that bodes well for them. And just a great team, and they're really fun to watch too. The Predators are, and I think they have enough. I think they've got enough grit and then enough scoring ability to be able to do it. And I really hope they get there because if the fans are this fired up, at this level, when they get to that Stanley Cup Finals, if and when they get there, I think the roof's going to come off that place.
We're live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Last but not least, we're covering Cyclone baseball today. Again, it is Regional Championship Day. In AA, you've got Dobbins Minute hosting Jeff County. Here, our neck of the woods, you've got, of course, Elizabeth and Greenville. In AA, in Single A, you have North Green hosting the Hampton Bulldogs. In softball, Cherokee travels to Morristown East in AAA. In AA, the Elizabeth and Lady Cyclones hosting Unicoi County, a rematch of the regular season. And then in Single A, Unaka is hosting the Lady Huskies of North Green. So some great games. Weather's perfect. Why would you not get out and support these teams? And I was doing some checking, Dave. Only two schools, North Green and the school we're covering, Elizabethton, have both baseball and softball still playing. So a great testament to those schools and great testament to all these schools and these kids that are still playing baseball or softball today.
Yeah, definitely so, and I'll be out there with you at Joe O'Brien tonight, so looking forward to seeing you out that way. That'll be fun to cover the Cyclones. I saw them against Sullivan South, I guess last week. It's all kind of a blur at this point, but yeah, like you say, a lot of local teams still playing. I've seen Hampton play, and really impressed by them. They knocked off University High to stave off elimination in the game I saw them in earlier, and it was really a great effort by them to do that. And of course, Elizabeth and Unicoi County softball. I mean, that speaks for itself. Those two have been, just neck and neck all year long. And when they've played, it's been entertaining every time out. So it's going to be fun to see who comes out on top in that one. Of course, all these teams, the good thing for us locally is all of them are going to play in the sectional. What they're trying to figure out now is who's going to get to stay at home and who's going to have to go down the road. And, you have a much better chance of advancing to the state tournament if you're playing in your home park at this point of the year than you do if you're having to go down the road to play some juggernaut down in the Knoxville area. That always makes it a lot tougher. So a lot on the line tonight. Nobody's going to get eliminated, but, for seeding purposes and for that dream of getting to Murfreesboro, just a lot riding on these games.
You got it. I'll see you. You're going to be there tonight. I'll see you. And you want me to come?
I am, yeah.
You want me to come get you, take you over? You want to catch a ride?
Oh, man. I think I'll be done paying the mechanic by then. I'll have my car back. So right. I'll tell you, it's it's the last time I buy a Ford. I'm going to say that. That's for your buddies there at Champion Chevrolet. I may walk over and see those fellas at some point. But man, I'll tell you, this car has about bled me dry. So one way or the other, though, I'll see you out there tonight. So
if you're hitchhiking, I'll pick you up. If you want me to come get you, I'll get you. But yeah, I look forward to sitting beside you, and I'll put you on the microphone a little bit if you want to.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, I'll jump up there with you. And if you come pick me up, just hold up a sign like they do in the airport. Just hold up a sign that says Stud, and I'll know it's you, and I'll come on out and we'll take a ride over. But hopefully I'll be back among the driving people by that point. So
you got it. Hey, great report. I'll see you tonight. All right.
Good deal. We'll see you then.
Yeah, great guy. Treasury's friendship. Our buddy Dave Onge again from the Johnson City Press. I'd go pick him up. I'd haul him over there if he needs to. That's what buds do. We'll take a quick break, come right back, and begin to wrap this thing up. Another Lady Vol quits the basketball program of Holly Worley. That's not good. We'll give you the very latest on softball for East Tennessee State and also the NCAA Regional Golf Tournament for the Buccaneers of Fred Warren. We'll see how they're doing in golf. We'll do that and begin to wrap this thing up right after this break. We're live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, as you are watching and listening to show number 520. Very proud of that, number 520 on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
The deals are heating up for Truck Month at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. Over 300 new Chevys to choose from, all with incredible savings. $11,000 off MSRP on 16 Silverado All-Star Crew Cabs. Check out the savings online at championjc.com. 16 Silverado Crew Cab, 33,685. 16 Track, 17,460. 16 Equinox, 21,615. 16 Traverse, 27,365. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Couple of baseball games in progress. Again, before we get out of here, I want to tell you the Tampa Bay Devil Rays lead Cleveland 4-0 in the bottom of the second. Houston leads the Marlins in a 12-10 first pitch. They're into the top of the third inning. Houston leads the Marlins 1-0. Houston, the hottest team in baseball. Those games are underway. We'll tell you all the scores, get you up to date when we bring you Elizabeth and Cyclone baseball at 5:40 this afternoon. Again, the Cyclones and the Greenville Green Devils, and that'll be coming up again, as we said, from still got Granger up. That will be coming up tonight. 5:45 airtime, 6 o'clock first pitch. Guard Tia Cooper, I should say, transferring from Tennessee. Lady Vol coach Holly Warlick announcing that Cooper is leaving the program. She missed the whole season with a knee injury. 5'8" guard from Powder Springs, Georgia. Averaged 9 points, 2 assists, and roughly 2 steals a season as a freshman 2 years ago. Last month, Alexa Middleton announcing she's also leaving the program, so the Lady Vols down 2 bodies right now here in the offseason for the Lady Vol basketball team. East Tennessee State men's golf team dropping 4 spots to 12th on the leaderboard after day 2 of the NCAA regional tournament in College Grove, Tennessee. Bucks are tied for 8th entering Tuesday's play. Top 5 move on. Top-ranked Vanderbilt expanding its 6-shot first-round lead after a 300-285. The regional wraps up today. Top 5 teams after the final round qualify for the NCAA championships. And Steve Forbes lands a literal big basketball player for East Tennessee State. Maiden Armas of Belgrade, Serbia, has signed to play basketball for the Bucks. He's 6'10", coming out of the Southwest Christian Academy in Little Rock, Arkansas, where he averaged 16 points, 13 boards, and again led him to a 36-3 record and the NACA national title. Armas was named the tournament MVP and a first-team All-American, so he will be a Buccaneer of East Tennessee State. 6'10" forward, Maiden Armas. So how about that? That's a Buccaneer coming on board, a big one too, at 6'10" for the Buccaneers of Steve Forbes. Don't forget our great sponsor, again, our buddies, the Gator Man, Cherokee Barbershop, South Johnson City. When the barber pole's out, the Gator Man's in. Again, he's there Tuesday through Saturday. Haircuts are free. Cup of coffee costs you $11. You get to keep the cup. That's, again, at Cherokee Barbershop in South Johnson City, Executive Park South, right down from Tipton Haynes Working Farm here in Johnson City. Also, our buddy Jeremy Livesey, again, JeremyLivesey.com with Mortgage Investors Group. Again, a neat place to have your home finance, whether it's I don't know, if you're looking for a farm, mini farm, name whatever you're looking for, you can get it and get it done, and they'll do a great job again at Mortgage Investors Group, JeremyLivesey.com. So go out and get pre-bought, if you will, through the real estate company, or actually come through Jeremy and get pre-bought first, and then go to the real estate company and be able to pick out your home with the parameters you can afford, having been pre-qualified with our buddy Jeremy Livesey, Mortgage Investors Group, the number one. They get it going too. Jeremy Livesey and the folks, the number one lending company in the state. And again, it's Mortgage Investors Group at Jeremy Livesey, or Livesey as it's spelled, Livesey, Livesey.com. We appreciate them very much. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. We're going to rejoin you coming up. We'll be ready to go with Elizabethton Cyclone Baseball coming up at 5:45 this afternoon, 6 o'clock first pitch in 5 hours. We'll have it for you. Hope you'll join us wherever you may be. Again, as Rush Limbaugh says, across the fruited plain, we'll have it for you. Again, Cyclone Baseball, the Greenville Green Devils, Elizabethton 20-10, Greenville 29-3. And so we'll have it for you again. The winner will be at home on Friday in the sectional, and the loser travels. And we'll tell you how that will happen. We bring the broadcast at 5:45, airtime 6 o'clock first pitch. Again, today from Joe O'Brien Stadium in Elizabethton. And again, all these kids playing today, these student athletes in baseball and softball, deserve to have a big crowd for whichever team you want to follow. Get out and support them. This is it for most of these teams for the next couple of days. And so get out there and support the local high school baseball and softball teams. All right, we're out of time. We thank you for yours. Back at it again at 5:45 for Elizabethton Cyclone Baseball. Until then, for all of our guests, I want to say thanks to Karen Hubbs, Greg Salyer, Dave Onge, and Ryan Presnell, head baseball coach of Elizabethton. Until we reach you at 5:45, reminding you as always, win or lose, be a good sport. So long, everybody.